Oh, is that what it is? Hey, that does make a difference. Sorry about that. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to War Eagle Stadium, a part of the Champion Sports Complex here at Landmark Christian, where this afternoon we have a little bit of a change in schedule. We were planning and supposed to have been, schedule-wise, to be at Alexander High School this afternoon, but unfortunately, due to the rather bizarre weather that we had yesterday, the field at Alexander got damaged due to the hail, so we moved the game to Landmark this afternoon. So a little different. Game time's about the same, but other than that, we've got a different venue. We'll be the home team this evening, but once again, we're here as Alexander Cougars have come down from Douglas County to take on the War Eagles this afternoon here at War Eagle Stadium. So while Alexander is finishing up their warm-ups this afternoon, going through some of their pregame and stuff, go ahead and make sure that you stop somewhere, get your snacks, get your stuff ready for the game. Again, we will be online live. If you'd like to touch base with us, you can text us at 770-318-5364. Or if the need hits you that you feel like you need to, you can feel free to contact us. You can call us as well. Mr. Baggett calls in every game, so that will be a portion of our live call-in part of the show. And I'm working on getting it set up to where we can have Mr. Baggett online with us one night, and we'll ask him a few questions about Ben and about Robbie and different things and what they enjoy the most about living up in Kentucky, even though I'm sure that they're probably also licking their wounds a little bit from Kentucky not even getting a bid to the NCAAs, which I feel like may have been a little unjust, but nonetheless, once again, as Robbie steps in from behind us. So, but once again, we a little change of venue this afternoon as we're coming to you live from the War Eagle Stadium here at Landmark, as the Alexander Cougars have come down from Douglas County once again to take on your War Eagles. So I'm going to break away here for a few minutes. Got a few pregame things that got to be taken care of. Before the game gets started, I'll kick it back and let you guys listen to some of the music and stuff on the pregame and just take in some of the sights that's going on as Alexander's finishing up their warm-ups. And I'll be back with you in just a few minutes. We're back with you, ladies and gentlemen. Again, as we're coming to you live from War Eagle Stadium tonight, not Alexander High School, which was the original game plan. Once again, for those of you just now tuning in, Alexander had some storm damage at their ball field this evening, so we decided to move the venue to here to Landmark since we didn't have the issues weren't quite as bad here as they had at Alexander. So we're going to break away now for just a minute as we're going to go back to have the national anthem and the prayer, and we'll be back with you in just a second. We are back with you live here at Landmark Christian School this afternoon as we are getting ready to introduce the starting defensive lineup for the War Eagles. I'm going to allow you to take part in that as we go through here in just a moment as the team gets ready to take the field. Once they take the field and get in their positions and stuff, then we like to try to run through to introduce each one of the players, let everybody from both teams know exactly who's playing where. Once again, it's a beautiful afternoon, a whole lot different from yesterday's weather. We certainly appreciate you guys checking in with us this afternoon. Once again, as we're coming to you live from War Eagle Stadium, you can give us a text at 770-318-5364. Stand by as I go through the defensive lineup. As we are back with you now live here at Landmark. My sidekick, Derek Nobles, is running a little bit late this afternoon as we get ready to kick things off, so I'll be upon the double duty as he has filled in a few gaps here and there. while I'm trying to take care of some public address announcing duties. As the sun this afternoon at this point in time is definitely kind of a trick. So bear with us here as we have the leadoff for the Cougars. Leading the game off for Alexander, the second baseman, number 1, Brandon Bone. Brandon Bone, I believe Brandon's a junior from Douglas County. Pretty good little kid. Coached Brandon actually several years ago in Little League football. Josh seemed to have a little trouble getting the ball out of his glove. He'll throw it to first as Brandon's safe as he gets there. A couple of names here I may have a little bit of trouble with. But Smith comes from the stretch as he steps off the rubber. Bones at first as we are just now getting started with you here at the top of the first. Denzero squares to bunt but pulls it back for a ball as they both look down to get their signs from the coach at third base. Bone gets his lead. As he bunts, fouls, the ball bounces off the batter. So now we are 1 ball and 1 strike. Next pitch by Smith. As the runner goes, he is thrown out by a mile, to be honest with you. As we're having a little bit of issue here with the scoreboard, as I am trying to get things addressed. We're not anything going on up here, so you're not getting anything on this. You may have to unplug it and start over. Ball hit into the gap in right center field as he's in for a stand-up double. Sorry, I had a little brief intermission there as we have tried to get a little problems with the scoreboard. We think we finally got things straightened out here. 2 outs. 2 outs for the Cougars. It's trying to get things into the top of the first here. We got a runner on second, 2 outs. Smith on the hill has a 2-2 count. As Ben comes across, throws across the diamond for out number 3. As we go to the bottom of the first with the score 0-0. As we are going into the top, as we go to the bottom of the first inning, as Alexander's going out to take the field, we will run through their defensive setup. Give their defensive setup, and we'll be right back with you. As we're getting ready to go into the bottom of the first inning, Smith pitched his way out of got a runner as far as second after the leadoff got on, thrown out, stealing. A good throw by Ethan Sewell down to second base, had him out by 2 or 3 steps. Danzero ended up hitting a double, and he was left stranded there at second base. So as Alexander going through finishing up his warm-up pitches, they are in the white jerseys with pinstripes. Landmark is wearing the visiting blues, but they are considered the home team today. As Josh makes his way up, as we get ready to lead things off this afternoon, once again, is a little bit of change of venue. If you were planning on potentially seeing the game at Alexander, we are coming to you live from Landmark this afternoon due to some storm damage yesterday. I'll be right back with you. Noble's coming into today's game. Struggling the last couple of games hitting. Had a few hits, but definitely not at the level to which he would like to be. So this might be a good breakout game for Josh today against Alexander. Starting pitcher Nick Wise for Alexander, a lefty. Fly ball infield, edge of the grass. Second baseman weaves back and forth, and his Bone makes the out. Ethan coming up, still batting in the 2-hole. Since they moved him to the 2-hole, seems to have worked out well for him up to this point. It's been he's hit the ball pretty well, hit the ball in some critical times, which has been good. Landmark has had some opportunities to score at times, just not able to capitalize on it. But we are definitely as I see my partner Derek coming up in the distance. Once again, if you'd like to chime in, give us a text at 770-318-5364. Ball in the dirt. Nice stop by the catcher. Next pitch inside, 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out to Ethan as Wise comes set, and the pitch swung on and missed, 3-2. runs the count full. Ethan needs to battle. Right here at this time of day, this late in the afternoon, the shadows are definitely playing some tricks on some of the infield. Be right in some of the infielders' eyes as that ball is inside and he draws a walk. So battle back to run the count full, but then ends up walking Ethan as Ben Baggett's coming up next. So Baggett coming up, playing third base today. As he pitched the other day, had another workhorse outing as we played against, as we had a ball game the other day. Ethan, catcher, pops up like he's going to fake down to third, or excuse me, down to first. So they are looking to get their signals. As my partner in crime, Mr. Nobles, has shown up. Good to see you this afternoon while you get your headsets and stuff cranked up over here. Ethan gets his lead. Wise, as Ethan, I think they had a hit and run on at that point. Ben fouls the ball back straight to the backstop, as Ethan was also on the run.
Thank you, Mike.
You with us today?
I'm with you today.
There we go. As Marcia is coiled up in a ball over there trying to keep the scoreboard going for us at the moment. She is acting like it's snowing.
It's not quite snowing.
No, this is nothing like yesterday. Ball is way outside. I think that was a little bit of a slip on Nick's part on the pitch. So, bottom of the first, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner at first, 1 out. As Alexander shot the goose egg to the top of the first. And the pitch. Fouled off to the right-hand side by Baggett. Runs the count 1-2.
Now, you may have said this earlier. Alexander is a 4A school or 5A?
I think they are a 4A school.
Okay. Part of Coach Phil's philosophy to play larger division schools or higher division schools so we can, as iron sharpens iron, we get better.
Definitely. He tries to make the out-of-region schedule as tough as possible. Alexander has historically had a very strong program. I think they're down a little bit this year and from years in the past. As Ben gets rung up with a call strike 3 outside part of the plate. As Jordan Wren comes to bat. Now batting the shortstop.
That was a good-looking pitch. But a little on the outside, I think it broke a little low, and Ben thought it was low, and the umpire thought it wasn't. So in those cases, the umpire wins.
That's right. Alexander is a 4A school. So I did get confirmation from that from our information group of here at the sports stats at Landmark.
Landmark Stats Group.
Mm-hmm.
As Jordan takes a first call strike on the outside corner. I don't think Coach Phil liked that.
I'm not sure who he's upset with. I think it's somebody didn't pick up a sign.
Did he have the hit and run on and somebody missed it?
I'm not sure. I didn't see, and I don't know the signs. Brooks went through them one day at about 90 miles an hour, and I wasn't able to keep up. So I just said, okay. Outside there, I'm not sure if that was a pitch out, but didn't look much like one. But either way, Ethan was not running. Coach Williams goes back through his signs again as Jordan steps in.
That's a new one he's got there.
Here's the pitch outside. 2-1.
I think they're trying to live outside of Jordan.
Yeah, they're definitely not wanting to come inside to give him anything to hit. So apparently they must have a scouting report on Jordan. Next pitch from Mr. Wise. Outside part of the plate, but a little bit closer in as Jordan fouls it off to the left-hand side.
As the War Eagle fans continue to make their way in.
Yeah, fashionably late.
Well, you got to remember this was changed. So.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking. This is notorious. So I'm not sure what they were having tea in the parking lot or what the deal was.
I've never known the Landmark families to be tea and crumpet type people. So
There's a few, but those will remain nameless.
2-2 to Jordan.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Outside part of the plate. 3-2. Again, still trying to stay. He is trying to nibble on the outside edge. Unfortunately, when he's gotten close, Jordan's been able to battle with him, so he's either been in close enough for Jordan to foul it off or has been way outside. See what Jordan gets on this 3-2 count. I'm sure Ethan will be on the run, and he is. Ball is inside, and he walks him. So walk number 2 given up by Wise here in the first inning as the DH, Brooks Austin's coming up.
So Brooks steps in with 2 batters on, 2 runners on, 2 out in the bottom of the first inning.
I'm sure Brooks would like to come up and have his Pujols moment. I would say Klesko, but I was told I was dating myself. And plus, Klesko doesn't bat from the right side. So 2 runners on, 2 outs. Decent speed on the base paths. Base hit by Brooks would definitely score 1. Depending on if he could pick up a gap somewhere, Jordan would have an opportunity to score from first.
As he takes a first pitch called strike.
Yep. Wise has definitely been working away to all the batters for the most part, so I'm sure Austin is looking for opposite way.
Brooks takes a monster cut.
Takes a big hack. Comes up empty.
0-2.
He
was trying to put the War Eagles up.
Brooks has now got himself in the hole and got a battle.
Does Brooks know any of the these kids here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'll go through some of that here in a few. As Ethan's running to third, he's up and safe. Jordan makes his way down to second on a little delay. So now we have runners at second and third. Base hit would definitely score 2. With 2 strikes, Brooks definitely now has to battle. Brooks standing with an open stance. As Brooks throws his front shoulder open, trying to hit the ball deep and messes up all the way around. So as we go to, at the end of 1, we are still scoreless as we get ready to go to the top of the second.
So how was the senior trip? Did you get any feedback from Brooks? Or
Brooks said that the trip, for those of you that were what Derek's referring to, a group of seniors went to Washington, D.C. and toured and went to toured the White House, went to the memorials, went to Arlington Cemetery, went to the Smithsonian, went to the National Archives, and some other places. Brooks said that the most impressive thing that he saw was the changing of the guard at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, and he said that he even sat down and got his stopwatch out on his phone because every move that the guards make is on a certain second count.
Okay.
And Brooks said that he watched through a couple of different guards going through different things, and he said everything that he timed on them was to within a tenth of a second of being exact on the time. And, of course, you know, there's that room for error that's on that.
Right.
And, you know, just some things that went on with that, and then also some things that I was unaware of at some of the memorials and stuff that that Brooks went to, how you could stand at certain strategic points and look in different directions and see certain strategic points.
Oh, okay.
And it was all about you could stand at a certain point at one memorial, see directly through another memorial, and see the White House. And the part of the reason for that was because that one of the presidents at the time wanted to have the opportunity to be able to see he was like a big Jefferson fan, so he wanted to be able to see the memorial from the White House and things like that. It was just crazy.
Gotcha,
so anyway,
gotcha. So it sounds like a good trip for all the senior class. As number 13
leading off the inning,
Alexander.
For Alexander, leading off the inning, number 13, the pitcher Nick Wise. See, fouls one off to the left side. Got too many things going on here at the moment. So.
Yeah, you ought to see Mike up here. He looks like he's working a soundboard at a recording studio.
I need to I stinking need a daggum. I feel like an octopus up here. So pitch gets by Ethan to the backstop. as Smith goes to bounce one up there. One ball, one strike to Wise. As he hits one to left field, Brandon Wiles circles up around it, comes up to make the catch for out number one. As the sun's still a little bit of a trick out there.
Yeah, Wiles looked like he was fighting it a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Now batting the left fielder, number 17, Stephen Closure.
As Stephen Closure. What's the Alexander's mascot? Who are they? The Cougars.
They're the Cougars.
They're the Cougars.
Yeah, Brooks grew up with Stephen. Him and Stephen have been buddies since middle school. So, as far as in the starting lineup, second baseman Brandon Bone, Brooks played rec football with. I coached Brandon in football. And then he played with Stephen. He played against Stephen in travel baseball, but they've been friends and went to school together since elementary school. And then Cole Weatherby played travel ball with 1 year, who's the starting right fielder. His Closure lifts one into shallow right center. It drops for a base hit. His Closure makes a wide turn looking at second base, but wisely goes back to first.
That was a CNI pop-up. I mean, it just hit right. If there was a spot where it could hit where no one could get to it, that's where it hit. C.J. Parnell gets in for the Cougars with the runner at first, one out here in the top of the second inning.
Closure not exactly known for his speed, so not exactly sure if they'll take a chance with him or not, but he has definitely got his gloves off in his hands, so he can, if he decides to go and slide, keep his fingers in to keep him from getting broke.
Yeah, that's the gloves in the hand is the universal symbol for I got speed. The universal symbol for I got speed. Thank you. As Mike tries to adjust my mic for me where you can hear me.
There we go. He's worried about chewing on it, but he hasn't had dinner yet, so.
That is a true statement.
Pitches outside by Smith.
I was rushing to get here. I said, should I stop by Chick-fil-A? No, I gotta rescue my partner in crime here.
That's right. Before he does something he's not supposed to or says something to get us both in trouble.
But any noises, that's not thunder. That will be my stomach rumbling.
Next pitch by Smith. Good pitch with an off-speed pitch coming inside. 2-1 count.
That was a good mix-up of pitches there by I keep wanting to call him Gerber. That's his nickname.
Oh, okay. Stephen is Spencer Smith.
Spencer, right.
Next pitch fouled off to the left side.
He's got those 2 strikes back quickly.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Closure at first. It's now the sun, the shadows and stuff will be on Smith pretty hot and heavy on the mound.
I wonder if it goes from the light to the shadows, if that has any effect on the batters. I know it does in the big league, but I don't know at this level.
He bounces one up there. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Good block by Ethan to keep the ball in front of him. Keeps the runner on first. Once again, we're coming to you from Landmark this afternoon. It's supposed to have been at Alexander, but Alexander's field suffered some hail damage from yesterday. So they opted as Closure's on the run. Seth Young scoops the ball up, throws to first to get the out for the sacrifice. Closure moves up to second for the only play he had. Nice little piece of hitting right there. Nice base running by Closure as Mitch Berger is coming up.
Yeah, Closure by being a heads-up base runner there eliminated the force and potentially the double play. Yeah, but that hail yesterday was something. I was working and I looked up and saw it actually coming down on my patio.
There were people posting pictures yesterday on the internet of stuff anywhere from quarter size up to baseball size hail. It was unbelievable. So I'd actually supposed to have taken my truck to the body shop today to get something fixed on it, and the guys that were trying to help me out and take care of me on it said, "Do you mind if you wait for a couple of days, because we've already gotten our voicemail is already filled up with potential customers coming in with hail damage." So
as he takes a second called strike here.
Yep. 0-2 count to Berger. No balls, 2 strikes. Spencer definitely got some room to play here. See if he can get him to fish, and he does for out number 3. Nice job.
And that was the hook.
Yep, a nice job by Spencer Smith. As we go into the bottom of the second, as Alexander leaves one stranded, we go to the bottom of the second inning, still tied 0-0. Leading off the inning for us will be the second baseman, Mr. Nolan Bryant, number 22.
Second baseman or
first baseman?
Okay. So that would be a major change for Nolan.
Yeah, Nolan plays second base. There's something wrong.
You can see if I guess you may not be able to see from the webcast, but we see some people. I don't know if they're sitting on the top fence or they're leaning up against it. I think that's Lyle out there.
Where?
Right over by the landmark.
No, Lyle was sitting. Austin was out there. Mr. Austin was out in left center field earlier, but he's pulled away. I'm not sure if he's come up here or not, but
all right,
I think that's the Kemps. Mark's leaned up against a tree. Reed's parents sitting in the back of the truck, I'm sure, is Amy and probably Mr. Kemp's girlfriend. They all have bromances.
I won't touch that.
All right. So as we get ready to come into the bottom of the second inning, Nolan Bryant will be leading things off for the War Eagles.
I don't know that I said hello to the athletic diva here. Hello, AD.
She's all coiled up over there looking for somebody to bring her some hot chocolate. Leading off the bottom of the second for the War Eagles, number 22, the first baseman, Nolan Bryant. Nolan hitting from the left side. Nolan, a good hitter all the way around. Has had him a couple of pretty good games. Has hit the ball pretty well. Maybe not always come up with the results that he was wanting, as that ball there was hit pretty well. As like we said, into right field as the right fielder. Weatherby chases it down.
He was on his horse to get that one.
Mm-hmm.
Now batting the second baseman.
As the second baseman, Seth Young steps in for the War Eagles with one out in the bottom of the second inning. No runners on.
First pitch coming to Seth.
And the War Eagles can use
Inside part of the plate with the fastball for strike one.
Use a win here. We got to get a winning streak going. We have one. One's not considered a streak just yet.
Wow. Depends on who it is. Cole
that was
comes in and makes as Weatherby comes in and makes another good defensive play, catches it at his shoe tops as he rolls and meanders back out there to right field as if it was no big deal.
That was a very good defensive play because he was once again on his horse. Weatherby must have pretty good speed as Reed Kemp for the War Eagles steps in.
Actually, he does. I coached the year that him and Brooks played some travel ball. I wasn't an official coach, but I did get an opportunity to work with some of the players. I was kind of the I was sort of the so the psychologist, the guy in the red sweater for John Smoltz years ago with some of these kids. That during that time frame was a rather interesting time for some of them in their lives. So
as Reed takes a ball inside.
Inside, right. 1-1 count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. In the bottom of the second here at Landmark, a wonderful afternoon. Reed fights one off, hits it foul. Still 1-2. Blue skies, not a cloud in it. Temperature probably in the mid-60s, low to mid-60s. A far cry from what it was yesterday. As yesterday I was not sure if Armageddon had set in or exactly what was going on, but it was rather interesting.
Well, the field's in pretty good shape as Reed takes a ball outside. Since the JV played here a few minutes sooner, how did that game go?
I didn't get the score. Okay, Alexander won. Alexander's JV won, beat Landmark 7-3 in the JV game. As Reed hits one down the third base line, umpire calls it fair as he throws across the diamond for out number 3. So Landmark comes up empty-handed here in the bottom of the second as they are heading back out here as we go into the top of the third inning. Leading off the inning for the Cougars will be number 5, the right fielder Cole Weatherby. So once again, this doesn't. We kept the game on schedule. Our schedule for the rest of the week this week, we'll be playing tomorrow at Our Lady of Mercy, which is a makeup game from yesterday.
Great.
And then we play. Okay. As Smith has looked pretty smooth, he's not gotten rattled. He's worked ahead of most of the batters. He has had to battle back with a couple, but once again has been pretty smooth on the off the bump today.
Well, it's still early. Unfortunately, the War Eagles, we don't tend to score early.
No, we don't.
Leading off the inning for Alexander, the right fielder, number 5, Cole Weatherby.
As Cole Weatherby, the right fielder, comes in.
As Spencer Smith toes the rubber. First pitch to Cole's a strike. 0-1. Next pitch coming in from Smith. Right down the middle for strike number 2. Cole looks back and asks umpire like he wasn't quite sure what the call was, but it was pretty obvious that ball was right down the middle.
Yeah.
No balls, 2 strikes for Smith to Weatherby. Strike 3 called on the outside corner for Spencer. Nice pitch right there. Nice out pitch as Weatherby kind of takes his walk back to the dugout. As Brandon Bone coming up for his second at bat.
Now batting the second baseman, number 1, Brandon Bone.
Bone come up first inning, got a base hit.
That was a good-looking curveball.
Curveball for strike 1. Spencer's been pretty steady right here. He just needs to stay on top of things, not get himself rattled. Pitched a good game so far. Fastball smoked back up the middle by Bone for another base hit. He's 2 for 2 on the day. Takes a wide turn as the War Eagles hustle to get the ball back into the end zone, into the infield.
Now batting the shortstop, number 10, Brian Danzero.
Brian was a standout football player at Alexander this past year as well.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how many of the boys actually did play football as well as baseball.
That I'm not exactly sure. Again, I know some of the kids that played, and but I'm not sure of all the ones. But I do know I've got a buddy of mine that's listening to the game online, Lee J. He texted in and was correcting me on the pronunciation of Denzero's last name, and he and I were debating a while ago because he was told one thing and throw down to first, bang, bang, play right there. Brandon Bone's able to get in on his belly on the pronunciation of his name. So, but he was a standout, stellar ball player at Alexander in football this year.
Okay.
So we have
all those dual sport athletes.
Mm-hmm. Ball is hit straight away center. Jordan takes a couple of steps back, but then comes in on his horse to make the catch for out number 2. So Bone got on first inning and ended up getting thrown out. And then, let me catch up here with the batters. My bad. So he was kind of hanging around in the outside of the batter's box till I named his name. So I figured I'd show him some love so he could step in and go to work. As Brandon breaks to second base and gets the steal this time as Ethan bobbled the ball a little bit.
He had a good jump as well. So
yeah, he did. Brandon's not your typical first leadoff guy, in my opinion, because he's not the fastest kid. A loopy curveball. Umpire calls it foul. Apparently, as he fouled it off his foot or hit it foul, or right here at home plate.
I got to give Ethan some credit. He got out of the backstop there, and went down that line pretty quickly.
No balls, 2 strikes. To Smith. Spencer Smith looks in for his sign. Here's the pitch. He bounces one up there for 1-2. Brandon Bones at second. 2 outs for the Cougars. As Alexander trying to play small ball, wanting to try to get some things going. This could turn into be a pitcher's duel. It may end up being a very low-scoring game. As Nick Wise, the starting pitcher, has been battling along with Spencer Smith. Gentleman walked up and handed me the lineup card from Alexander, and they made it sound almost kind of robotic. They said that Nick was going to start, and the first reliever would be this player, and the next reliever might be that player. As the ball is hit up the middle, a little lazy line drive, but it looks like it's coming at you 90 miles an hour.
And
as Spencer catches it to get out of the inning.
So that saves a run. No runs in the inning.
As we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, neither team has scored. Alexander's left another one stranded on the base pass. As the Alexander defense takes the field.
You know, they played a good defensive game. Well, both teams have played good defense.
Mm-hmm. Miss Marsha's obviously reading an article out of her one of the lady magazines or something that she gets from school. Once again, the rainout yesterday at Our Lady of Mercy will be made up tomorrow for the War Eagles. It'll be played at Mercy. I don't think there will be a webcast tomorrow. So for those of you
that's a bummer.
That won't be that normally tune in, include Mr. Baggett. I got your phone call earlier, Mr. Baggett. Unfortunately, I was unable to answer the phone at that point in time. But I did want to acknowledge you, sir, that during I missed the call-in segment of our show. So just to let you know that you are being recognized, sir, and we do appreciate your time.
We always appreciate hearing from you, Mr. Baggett.
And again, my condolences for Kentucky not making it to the show. Even though Robbie come in guns a-blazing earlier whenever I made a comment about that. That's enough. I don't want to hear nothing about it. Okay.
So we're not going to webcast tomorrow, but we are going to webcast Fridays and Saturdays. So hopefully you guys will join us then as Brandon Weil for the War Eagles steps in.
Now, who do we play Friday and Saturday? Our schedules, and the reason I say that, it makes it sound like that I'm just completely unaware, but our schedule has changed 4 or 5 times since the season started, so I'm a little bit behind here. Brandon looks at 1 ball, 1 strike. That ball looked a little off the plate there, but nonetheless.
Well, Friday we play at home against Strong Rock, and then Saturday we play away at North Cobb Christian.
I got you.
Oh, it is at home? Okay.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Okay,
to Brandon.
Okay, just been informed. It is home. So North Cobb Christian is home.
See, once again, that's why I told you guys I don't even keep up with the schedule anymore.
You have to check the calendar.
I did. I thought
Strike 3 on Brandon Wallace. He took a bad swing at a bad pitch on the outside, way off the plate there for strikeout number 1. Out number 1 for the inning.
Now batting the shortstop, number 5, Josh Nobles.
As the shortstop comes in, Nobles.
Josh gets himself set. Nick Wise comes in with the pitch. Fouls 1 off to the right side for strike 1.
1 out, 1 strike, nobody on. At the bottom of the 3rd inning.
One hopper to the pitcher. He takes a step and throws to first as Nobles is out for out number 2. So Nick is making it look easy right now as both pitchers are kind of cruising. They're kind of hitting a cruising mode. Nobody's really hitting the ball decent, but they're hitting it right at people. So definitely making the pitcher's job much easier.
Now batting the catcher, number 24, Ethan Sewell.
I think I see the problem again. Johnny is not the bat boy. I told him he has to be at all the games.
Right. Well, it is a school night.
As Ethan Sewell comes up.
Hits a line drive to the shortstop to end the inning there as he comes up and makes it real easy for himself as he pitches. It was about a 5-pitch inning for him right there. So.
And I think we're supposed to go to a break now.
Yep, as we are. We're going to break for just a minute, so stay tuned. We'll be back with you in just a second. And we come back to you live here at Landmark at War Eagle Stadium as we are getting ready to go to the top of the 4th inning as our scorekeeper and athletic diva is stunned from the article that she just got through reading on spring fashion as well as some recipes. She just has no idea. She did not realize that fruit and vegetables could be cooked and prepped in so many different ways. So sorry for you to have such a moment, Miss Burdette, but welcome back to reality.
So the War Eagles take the field in the top of the 4th here, and the Cougars send number 19, the third baseman, Toby Worthy, to the plate to lead off the 4th inning for the Cougars. As the shadows are elongated.
Yep.
The sun.
Ball hit up the middle to Josh. Josh takes it off a hop, throws across the infield for out number 1. It almost looked like Cody slowed up before he got to first base, like he'd given up on the play. So I'm sure the coaches are taking notice in something like that. I'm not quite sure what the circumstances were there.
Well, he's retired, and the pitcher, Nick Wise, number 13, steps in for the Cougars with 1 out in the top of the 4th inning.
As both pitchers again have been kind of cruise mode up to this point. I say that, and one or the other has a tendency to blow up as soon as I say something. So let's just see what happens here.
As Nick takes a first pitch call ball.
Mm-hmm. Outside, 2-0, just off the plate. Outside, 3-0. So as Smith, as soon as I say, kind of hit cruise mode, and all of a sudden now, he is kind of 3 balls and 1 strike.
Well, he grooved that one.
Next pitch, he hits a pop fly to center field. Jordan Wren takes about 4 steps in to bring it in for out number 2 as Closure is coming up to bat.
Now batting the left fielder, number 17, Stephen Closure.
So Stephen Closure steps in with 2 out in the top of the 4th.
Stephen, another diehard Auburn fan, to the point to where he's a little bit redefines the term fanatical. As Jordan this time cruises over to his right 4 or 5 steps and pulls one in.
So the War Eagles get a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left as we go to the bottom of the 4th.
Bottom of the 4th inning, once again, as we've got a little bit of a pitcher's duel going on. This could come down to the first team that scores could end up being the team that wins. So,
well, let's hope the War Eagles score in this, this inning. You know, as you look out over the complex, once again, I always comment on how beautiful it is. There's no activity going on the soccer field today. Last time we were here, we had both soccer and baseball going on. As we mentioned earlier, the JV was the opening act here. Fortunately, they lost 7-3 to Alexander. And we've got a pitcher's duel here, tied 0-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning.
And we'll go from there. Bottom of the 4th inning, Landmark coming to bat. So we'll see how that goes. As Ben Baggett comes wandering out of the dugout as he'll be leading off the inning for the War Eagles.
So we got the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the War Eagles.
The third baseman, number 27, Ben Baggett.
Put our numbers up there too.
As Ben's number 27, not 17.
As I give Mrs. Burdette a hard time.
First pitch to Ben's a strike, belt high fastball. As Mr. Wise is coming out to settle in for another inning.
And Jordan Wren in the on-deck circle.
Next pitch in the dirt, 1-1. Baggett looking for a base hit today. Has hit the ball notoriously well, as usual, after going through his Iron Man pitching outings the last 2 or 3 times.
Will he finish up 130 pitches?
I'm not sure. He's thrown a bunch is all I know. Foul ball off to the right side. Doesn't quite get it squared up. As Baggett steps back in, Wise toes the rubber to look to get a sign. Pretty good crowd for both teams here. Alexander always travels well. Ball past the catcher to the backstop. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And that's where you need a runner on.
Exactly. Next pitch coming to Baggett as the sun is coming in Wise's eyes. Finds a pitch he likes, and here it is. Fastball up in the zone, 3-2. Ben's worked the count full. So wants to protect the plate, but yet wants to be aggressive with the bat where he can. Plenty of pasture land out there in the outfield. Baggett hits one a mile in the air. He slings it off the fence. Hits a flazy fly ball to center field for out number 1 as Jordan Wren comes up to bat.
Yeah, looked like the bat traveled farther than the ball did, almost.
As Coach Williams walks down towards Coach Williams. Coach Williams showing some love to Brooks as he
he's telling Ben to come and get the bat.
As Ben slings the bat up against the fence as he tells Brooks to go as they were going to send Brooks to go get it. Long story. I'll have to go back through it here in just a minute. But anyway, first pitch to Jordan Wren. is a ball outside. Ben tossed his bat against the fence. They hollered and told Brooks to go get the bat. Coach Williams walks down and hollers and says, it'll take Brooks a week to go get that bat. Jordan, go over and pick it up. So, and then due to the fact of next pitch to Jordan, outside 2-0. Then due to the fact that Ben threw it against the fence as hard as he did, Coach Williams laid it down out by the baseline and made Ben walk out of the dugout to come pick it up as a sign of no sense in acting that way. So, even though it was a little frustrated for him. Outside, 3-0.
3-0.
3 balls, no strikes, 1 out.
Miss Burdett is realizing how
obviously that
difficult it is.
Marcia does much better adding when dollar signs are put with it. As Jordan draws a walk on 4 straight pitches. Oh, boy. That's right.
So Brooks steps in with 1 out and Jordan at first base here.
Brooks stands with a open stance. He needs to look away a little bit from time to time to see what he gets an opportunity there. Not sure if his grandparents are tuning in this afternoon. So he hits a fly ball to the right side.
Oh, and
first baseman tried, third baseman came in, sacrificed himself against the fence, and Brooks gets another opportunity.
I don't know if the second baseman, when he came in, actually hit the glove of the first baseman and knocked the ball out.
As catchers.
As Coach Will was running for his life to stay out of the way there.
As
looks like they're talking about the bat that Ben slung.
No, I think they accused Brooks of doing the same thing on his fly ball. As they're both teams. As the Alexander coach comes out to wants to talk to the umpire. Apparently the umpire did not see anything wrong with what's gone on up to this point. So, therefore, he said, play ball and let's keep going. As Brooks steps back in, Jordan gets his lead at first. Jordan is definitely always a threat to steal. He throws a breaking pitch on the outside part of the plate. Stays outside. Brooks runs the count 1-1.
You know, I see that more and more, Mike. Pitchers are staying outside more.
Well, the problem is right now there's a lot of these batters, especially, and I get into debates and it starts arguments more times than not, but I'll pick it up here after this next pitch to Brooks. As Jordan's gone, Brooks trying to protect the batter. Nice swing right there. Doing a good job right there of the swing. If he'd have squared that one up, that ball may have gone a long ways. But unfortunately, these guys are all coming up in this time frame right now, and they're trying to be the big jacks and wanting to hit big yaks all over the place. And unfortunately, they've got to settle down and learn to hit the ball the opposite way, because if they want to play at the next level, that's going to be the first thing that they're going to get asked.
Right.
So next pitch to Brooks is he has a 1-2 as they throw back to Chase Jordan back to first base. So, you know, these guys coming up through travel ball ranks, you know, they're drilled about look opposite way, look away, look away, look away. But these guys are all thinking that they're wanting to be superheroes and come up here and hit these bombs.
Well, the bats prohibit that as much as it did a few years ago.
Right. Coach Williams has obviously got a little bit of frustration over there coaching third. Apparently somebody's not wanting to pick up and get their signs as Brooks stays alive and fouls one off to the right side.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Brooks. Jordan still at first base, checking the signs from Coach Phil, as well as Brooks.
So we're getting some folks chiming in. We got another, once again, Mr. Baggett has chimed in so far with us this afternoon. We got a text from a buddy of mine, Mr. Lee J. Iddings, tuning in online, watching us as Jordan's off to the races once again, and Brooks swings and strikes out weakly as he takes his time wandering back to the dugout.
Well, the good news is that Jordan did advance with Nolan Bryant stepping in.
Number 22, Nolan Bryant.
Well,
So Brooks is probably a little rusty after being away for 4 days.
I'm not going to say. As Jordan's down at second base with 2 outs. Base hit right here will score him. See if Nolan can hit ball on the inside part of the plate for a strike. Good pitch by the pitcher. Nolan can get one squared up and hit a base hit right here. It'll definitely score a run pretty easily. We might be able to get that goose egg off the scoreboard. See, all steps off the rubber, fakes his throw to second. As Nolan Bryant steps in. No balls, 1 strike to Nolan. Swung on and miss. Just a little bit late behind that fastball, the 0-2 count.
Well, he went to the outside that time.
Once again.
It was a hittable pitch, but let's see what he does for this one as Nolan faces 0-2 count with 2 outs.
Keep the head inside, watch the ball, stay behind it, and swing. As Nolan lifts one into right center field for a base hit, as Jordan rounds the bag, as he will score easily. Nolan's in for a base hit right there, and he gets an RBI as Landmark scores first in the bottom of the 4th.
That was a big hit by the War Eagles.
Yes, it was. We'll see how important that turns out to be later on down the road.
Now batting the second baseman, number 10, Seth Young.
Yep. In the bottom of the 4th.
As Seth comes up. Two outs. Nolan Bryant on first. Nolan not exactly known for stealing. Does have decent speed, but not as much of a stealing threat as Jordan was.
And Seth takes a big cut at a high fastball. 0-1. 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th.
As Seth gets stronger, he'll get better. He just needs to stay within himself.
Ooh.
Ball looked a little up in the zone there, but 0-2 count. Stay within himself and do what he's capable of doing and be a contact hitter right here, and will prove to benefit himself much better.
Well, given that call strike, you understand why he swung at the first.
Exactly. I'm with you. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first as he's gone. As they call a ball there.
And the catcher loses the ball, scoots partway back to the fence. Ball must have been low.
I'm not sure the circumstances there but 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nolan Bryant down to second. He's in scoring position. Ball is up in the zone, 2-2. Seth Young with a pretty good at-bat this go-around. He's working the pitcher, trying to run to a full count.
And Nolan gets a lead.
See what happens. And the pitch. Ball put into play. Shortstop comes up. Long throw. Makes it look easy, though, for an out. Nice job right there by the shortstop on that, moving to his right.
I didn't think he was going to get there, but that's still, the War Eagles get a run in the bottom of the 4th.
Yep. As we go to the top of the 5th, Landmark did draw, got rid of the goose egg first. So we are battling here with us. It's turned into somewhat of a pitcher's duel this afternoon between Nick Wise and Spencer Smith. Both players have been pitching very well this afternoon. So Alexander coming to bat for the top of the 5th right here to see if they can answer with Landmark scoring one. Again, just a beautiful day here at Landmark this afternoon. Is a little bit of change of venue once again. I'm sure all of you are aware of the goofy weather that we had yesterday. It was unbelievable, some of the things that we had to do.
Well, I'm going to some goofy weather. I got to go to Kansas City. Got to leave here in about 45 minutes.
Did you lose a bet?
Only good thing is they have good barbecue there.
Well, bring some back.
Yeah, on the airplane.
Let's go. Come on, man.
I did that once.
In a word, 2 words for you: care package.
Care package. I did that once, and I went to New York years ago. My wife's a big corned beef fan, and I went to
that's different.
Carnegie Deli.
Come on, man. Corned beef. I mean, the reason that was bad, no.
No, it was still good when I brought it home. but, you know, I had to
Not
fight
as,
to keep it.
not as good as barbecue.
Well, for those of you that miss New York Deli, you'll appreciate what I'm saying. Number 9, C.J. Sparnell for the Cougars leading off, top of the 5th.
So he tries to bunt for a single. Ethan Sewell comes out of the catcher's box to field it and get the out at first. Nice job by Ethan.
Those cat-like reflexes.
That's right.
Where he came out.
Even had a chance to double clutch while Nolan strolled over to first base.
Now batting number 22, the center fielder.
So the center fielder, Mitch Berger for the Cougars, steps in.
Mitch Berger.
With 1 out in the top of the 5th.
Line drive into left field. Why he didn't come up for to catch that, I'm not quite sure there. That was looked like it was a catchable ball, but Brandon backed up and let it bounce in front of him for a base hit.
Well, you know, it's one of those things, Mike, where if you come up and miss it, it's a bad play. If you come up and catch it, you're a hero. So
once again, Cole Weatherby up to bat. As
with 1 out, runner on first in the top of the 5th.
Ball hit up the middle. Seth Young tags him at first. Nice job to get the tag out. It going to second as he's out there. Throws to first trying to get the double play, but Nolan unable to come up with it. Nice heads-up play by Seth Young right there. As Weatherby with good speed, too, had to hustle his throw, and unfortunately not in time as he gets on by the fielder's choice.
So with 2 out in the top of the 5th, with one runner on, Brandon
Bone.
Bone.
Yep.
Bad to the bone.
Bad to the bone. Brandon, good kid. Coached him in rec football several years ago. His dad, Buddy, helped us coach, and just a good all-around kid.
Ball. As he takes a first pitch ball.
Mm-hmm. 1-0 count to Bone. With Weatherby being on first. Ball outside, 2-0.
2-0.
2 balls, no strikes. Marcia's shopping on Amazon.
I think she's at Macy's today.
Okay. That's right. She was at Amazon the other night. Foul straight back to the backstop. 2 balls, 1 strike.
So Marcia is all about her job.
That's right. She is shopping to make sure she stays within dress code.
If you catch her between the hours of 9 and 3, she's all about her job. I'm sorry, 8 and 3. 8 and 3.
3 balls, 1 strike. That ball was outside in the dirt just a little bit.
3 balls, 1 strike.
Smith got 2 outs. Got 2 outs pretty quick. Struggling a little bit behind here with this batter. See where he comes with here. Outside, and he walks him. Runners at first and second. First time tonight where that Alexander's had 2 runners on. With 2 outs, though, so let's see what happens right here.
Now batting number 10, Brian Dancero.
As Brian Dancero steps in for the Cougars here in the top of the 5th inning with 2 out. Runners at first and second, as Mike pointed out.
Dancero, again, a pretty good athlete on the Alexander team. Made a good defensive play there at shortstop last inning to end it. Yes, it was. 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, two runners on. Base hit right here, scores 1 as Weatherby's got pretty good speed.
As he demonstrated in the field.
Mm-hmm. Ball inside.
It's a good curveball, just didn't break enough.
2 balls, no strikes. As they're getting.
Oh, and plucks him there.
Dead ball. Bases loaded. Coach Williams calls time.
Probably wants to just settle Spencer down a little bit.
Yeah. Something like that. Coach Williams walks out to check with Spencer, make sure everything's good with him. Just to let him know, you got 2 outs. We're in the 5th inning. Landmark up by 1. definitely want to hold on to this lead if at all possible.
He's probably just trying to calm him down, ask him how his Spanish quiz was. You know.
Yeah, that's right. Asking him which direction should they trim the grass after the game.
Well, the good news is it's a beautiful evening. A little chilly, but there's no wind blowing. That flag is just sitting down there.
Yep. Again, well, I guess because Mother Nature's worn out from blowing the wind like she did yesterday. My stars. It was unbelievable. Ball hit to left field.
That looks like it's going to drop.
It's going to drop for a base hit. Ball gets past Wild on this one. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. As he ends up on second with a stand-up double as Alexander takes the lead 2-1 in the top of the 5th with Cody Worthy coming up to bat.
Cody's coming up to bat. 2 out in the top of the 5th. Runners at second and third. We really can use an out here.
I think I missed pronouncing Andrew Smith's base hit to left field. That's going to go all the way to the fence. No, it didn't. Brandon cut it off. 2 more runs have scored as Cody comes cruising into a stand-up double. So back-to-back doubles have cleared the bases for the Alexander as they have now taken a 4-1 lead in the top of the 5th inning.
It's almost like
with
they were
the pitcher coming up to bat.
It's almost like they were waiting on somebody to get them ignited, and the War Eagles did by scoring that 1 run in the bottom of the 4th. Now they're down 4-1 in the top of the 5th.
Nick up to bat here. A little base hit may score another. If he get that, he can help himself out building a little extra run for a lead with a 1-0 count. Was it a strike?
Strike, yeah.
I'm sorry. That's right, he did swing it. Next pitch to Wise.
Another good-looking curveball from.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Spencer, strike out or an easy out right here would help. See, he hits 1 foul. Still no balls, 2 strikes. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 runner on second. As Alexander once again had back-to-back doubles to clear the bases and score 1 extra. Down in the zone, 1-2. Smith needs to stay aggressive right here. He doesn't need to try to start nitpicking. He's pitched pretty well except for just a couple of pitches that he's missed on.
Yeah, and those were pretty much right down the pike there.
Nice job by Ethan Sewell.
Great catch by Ethan, running full speed into the fence.
Into the fence there to get out of the inning as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Alexander leaves 1 stranded, but they take the lead 4-1.
We appreciate all of you being here with us.
Once again, if you're out there in internet land, give us a text at 770-318-5364. Or if you're like Mr. Baggett, not real big on the texting thing, you can pick up the phone and try to call us at 770-318-5364. But if you do text us, let us know where you're texting. Let us know where you're texting from and who you are. We've had a few folks text in from time to time, and they'll say listening in from a certain point, which is great. We certainly do appreciate it, but we'd like to recognize who it is that's paying attention to us, especially anybody that may be with ESPN affiliates or anything along those lines that might be looking for anyone to back up for Sunday night baseball. Derek and I are open for negotiations.
and we're cheap, too.
That's right. We're very cheap.
At least for the first-year contract.
You might be surprised. That's right. As Reed Kemp will be leading off for the War Eagles this inning, number 8, the right fielder.
Unfortunately, I've been told not to quit my day job, so part of my day job is I'm going to have to leave here, Mike, in a little while here.
Okay, that'll work.
Leading off the inning for the War Eagles, number 8,
Reed Kemp steps in for the War Eagles to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning.
First pitch to Reed's outside, ball 1. as we are going into the bottom of the fifth. Landmark down by 3 as Kemp skies one into the infield here. Buddy Brandon Bone circles the wagon, so to speak, and comes up with it for out number 1.
Looks like we're going to have a hitting change here.
Pitch hitter coming in for Brandon Wild. Looks like it's going to be number 20, Scott Smith.
Now batting for the War Eagles, number 20, Scott Smith.
Scott Smith, utility player and a pitcher. He's about 9 foot tall.
And a $107.
And weighs a $105. I'm just kidding. He is a tall pitcher. As he develops his body and doing different things, he is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with here at Landmark.
He really is. Looking forward to seeing great things from him.
See, he hits one down the first baseline, foul off the end of the bat. That may have stung just a little bit.
Yeah, because he definitely hit it off the end.
Yeah.
You could tell by the sound.
Almost, I wasn't surprised that it didn't stick to the suction cup look on the end of the bat. I'm still waiting for that to happen. Next pitch to Smith. Outside, 1-1. Smith coming in the pitch hitting spot for Brandon Wild. Not too sure. I'm sure it may have been some due to some situations from the last inning on defense while Coach Williams looked to make a change. Next pitch to Smith up in the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, Coach Phil will pull the hook. He's not embarrassed or slow about that at all.
As the 3 balls, 1 strike.
I know. I thought somebody was getting tased here.
I wasn't sure what was going on. All of a sudden, we got this sound over here on the side. Wasn't sure what was happening. Thought the place was fixing to blow up. Right down Broadway, 3 balls, 2 strikes. I think Scott was breaking into a dance move there or have some sort of a nervous twitch or a tick, but realized it was a strike, so he gets to get one more hack at it. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out for Smith. Stays alive, bounces off the backstop, still 3-2.
Yeah, I think he thought that was a ball. He started down first and had to realize that the umpire had a difference of opinion.
Little different view, different heights. Next pitch. Swung on and missed for a strikeout for Nick Wise. That's strikeout number 3, I think, for Wise this evening as Nobles is coming up to bat.
Now batting the shortstop, number 5, Josh Nobles.
Nobles trying to get something going with 2 outs for the War Eagles. Line drive, base hit to right field. First pitch he sees. In for a base hit. Nice little piece of hitting by Nobles. As Ethan Sewell now comes up. Try to keep things going here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th for the War Eagles.
Good time for a rally in the War Eagles here. 2 outs.
Number 24.
Down 4-1, bottom of the 5th. Ethan coming up to bat. I can't see who was warming up in the Landmark bullpen.
Not sure myself. Next pitch. Oh. Who? Oh.
Oh, good.
Miss Burdett's giving us information over here that's non-baseball related, but definitely athletic related here for Landmark. Ethan swung on a miss for strike 1. Where did they buy a house? Noonan? Okay. Gotcha.
Congratulations to them.
Miss Burdett is referring to Coach Brantley and him closing on a brand new house. Snap throw to first by Nick Wise. Josh in on his belly back to be safe.
And his mother is going to enjoy washing that uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Joshua washes his own uniform.
Next pitch. Checks his swing. He does go around for strike number 2. No balls, 2 strikes to Ethan Sewell. 2 outs. Josh Nobles definitely a threat to run on first. And I think Nick knows that. That's why he had the snap throw to first here. Let's see what Josh does on this pitch.
Fouls that one back
As
off
Ethan
the catcher.
fouls one off the catcher's helmet. Goes to the backstop.
If Ethan gets on, Ben Baggett is in the on-deck circle.
He's fired up and due.
Yeah, he is.
No balls, 2 strikes to Ethan, 2 outs. Behind the dirt, Nobles is off to the races. He gets standing up at second as the ball scoots past the catcher.
Well, if Ethan can get a hit, could possibly score Nobles from second base.
Pull us back within 2.
That's a ball. That's a ball.
Ethan Sewell lifts one into left field. Left fielder's back. He's still going back. And he makes the catch just short of the warning track as Ethan put a charge into it, but not quite enough as Landmark strands one. As we go to the top of the 6th, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with you in just a minute here on Landmark Baseball. As we come back to you live at the top of the 6th inning here at Landmark, War Eagle Stadium at Landmark Christian School, a part of the Champion Sports Complex here at Landmark. As we're the only show in town this evening. There's no soccer matches and no track meets going on this evening. As Ethan comes out after having to get his stuff on. Brooks warming up the pitcher for him. As it looks like number 17, Stephen Closier, will be leading off for the Cougars. As Miss Burdett's going back into Eskimo mode over here. Bad hop once Ethan throws the ball down to second. Closier, the left fielder, made the third out last inning, leading off for the Cougars. First pitch, loopy curveball outside for ball 1. As my partner in crime had to take off. He's got a business trip, so Mr. Nobles is gone for the evening, so I may drag somebody up here to help us out the rest of the game. If not, we may put the headsets on Miss Burdette, or is she shaking her head no, or I'll fly solo. His Closier lifts one into right field. Reed Kemp drifts back for out number 1. Closier got a pretty good wood on it as he hits it to right field. Reed Kemp had him played pretty well, drifts back 6 or 8 steps and brings it in for out number 1. C.J. Sparnell coming up for the for the Cougars. Top of the 6th. First pitch he sees is inside corner for a strike. 0-1. Landmark down by 3 in the top of the 6th. We need to get out of here pretty quick and get in, scratch a few more runs out if we can. Close that gap some, if nothing else, to set us up for a 7th inning heroics. I'd rather take the lead in the 6th and then cruise in the 7th, but we'll see how things go there. Strike on the outside corner for 1 ball, 2 strikes. Next pitch. He lifts one into left field. Smith circles around and makes the catch for out number 2. No, excuse me. I'm sorry. Will Walters is the defensive replacement in right field, not Scott Smith. My apologies. Will Walters makes that catch in the outfield. Mitch Berger steps in for the Cougars. Nobody on, 2 outs. Curveball in for a strike. Nice pitch right there by Spencer Smith. Is he still battling? I'm not sure where he's at on his pitch count for the night, but he has helped himself out a good bit. It's an easy hopper to Seth Young as he gets 3 up, 3 down. Nice little easy inning right there for Spencer Smith. As we go to the bottom of the 6th, Landmark needs to put a few things together here. We need to get some base runners on. We need to score 2 or 3 runs right here to get it close, as we are in the 6th inning here. It's starting to get late. So, as Alexander has taken a 4-1 lead. Sun is set. Temperature's starting to drop just a little bit. Still a nice evening out here. Not too hot. Depending on, for some, it may be a little cold, but for the most part, most of us are pretty comfortable this evening. Again, from comparison to the weather that we had yesterday. And for those of you that may be listening to us in other parts of the country that weren't here or that aren't in the area, yesterday we had crosswinds, rain in heavy amounts at times, and in some places as large as baseball, and in some rare cases even larger than that, size hail. So, needless to say, it was a rather interesting last 24 hours. So, but again, today has been much nicer. So we'll see how things go here. But once again, as we are in the bottom of the 6th inning, looks like we're going to have number 4, 5, and 6 batting for us in this inning, as Ben Baggett will be leading things off. I take that back. 3, 4, and 5. As they are all looking around. As Alexander apparently has made a pitching change, as Cody Worthy is now on the mound. As Ben leads off the bottom of the 6th. Yeah. 3, 4, and 5 are batting. First pitch to Baggett. Looked a little high from here. Strike 1. 1 strike to Baggett. Next pitch. See where this one's offered as the catcher calls time. Wants to go out and get himself straight with the pitcher. Is this starting to get, like we said, starting to get a little bit late here. Landmark needs to put a few base hits together here, score a couple of runs at least, get back within 1 and be nice. It'd be a lot easier to give ourselves an opportunity coming up. Next pitch offered to Baggett. Inside for strike 2. Inside corner. A little bit more in the zone than that first pitch, as we have an 0-2 count on Baggett. Ball outside.
I keep wondering off. I'll be in Europe in a minute.
Just take us with you. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Baggett. Oh, ball. That's a little off the plate there, but close enough for the umpire to like it as he gets called strike 3 there on Baggett as Jordan Wren coming to bat. Jordan Wren stepping in. Different pitcher. Let's see what he offers him early. Tries to stay down in the zone. A little too low there for ball 1. Pitching here the last few games, folks have been trying to stay a little bit away from Jordan, but he's been able to capitalize on a few mistakes whenever they've given them to him, hitting the ball hard. As he fouls one, catcher takes a look at it. I'll lose it out of the view. 1 ball, 1 strike. Oh. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out for the War Eagles. Next pitch to Jordan Wren. Jordan swung on and missed, just missed that one. I wish he could have that one back there. It was a good pitch to swing at. Jordan is signed to go play baseball at Samford University for next year. So he is able to kind of relax and enjoy the rest of the spring. Next pitch. See, he hits one inside. First baseman makes the play, and he tosses it to the pitcher for the out, for out number 2. So, first 2 batters to this inning made fairly simple outs as Cody Worthy is taking the mound. Now coming up to bat, number 19, Brooks Austin. Number 11, Brooks Austin. Two outs, bottom of the 6th inning. Landmark needing to get something going right here. Ball outside to Brooks. Brooks not got a hit today. He's had a couple of not too impressive looking strikeouts. Landmark was aggressive early. Brooks lifts one to the right side there as it is going to hook foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brooks steps back in. Worthy toes the rubber to get his sign. And the 1-1 offering to Brooks. Here it is. Curveball, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Austin. He needs to battle up right here. Lock in a little bit better and put the ball in play. Time called by the batter. Brooks wants to step out, scratch his noggin, and put his hat back on. Collect his thoughts a little bit and step back in. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Landmark looking to get something started here. As he gets him on a call, strike 3 curveball. Brooks turns and walks back to the dugout, a little disappointed. As Landmark going to the top of the 7th inning. They have come up shorthanded here. So we will, as I am struggling here, I was looking for a song and I lost it. There it is. Trying to get trying to get a little different types of songs played this evening and play a few things a little bit different than what we've done in the past. So Spencer Smith still on the mound for the War Eagles. So it's the only defensive changes we've made. I will make the announcement to let Will be recognized. I take that back. I should have done it last inning. I didn't do it, so I'm just going to let him ride. Alexander getting ready to come to bat. It's Cole Weatherby's going to lead things off for Alexander, number 5. Spencer finishes his warm-up throws. Ethan chunks one down to second base, and we're getting ready to get started here. Top of the 7th inning. Spencer's pitched a good game all the way around. He's left probably 3 pitches in bat where he wished he'd had them back, but those 3 unfortunately cost him. So slow roller to the second baseman as he tosses over to Nolan Bryant for the first out. 1 pitch, 1 out. Nice way to keep your pitch count down there. Brandon Bone back up to bat. So we have 1 out. Swung on and missed. Strike 1 to Brandon. Smith still hadn't really lost a lot of velocity. Curveball. He does not throwing a lot of curveballs. He's hitting the spots, changing speeds a little bit. It's time 6-3 for out number 2. As Brian Duncero is coming up to bat. Two outs. As we got 2 outs going into the, yes it was, 1 ball, no strikes. Curveball for a ball, 2-0. Just missing there. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 7th. Landmark's down by 3. 3-0. Smith wanting to kind of nibble a little bit. I say let your defense work behind you here at this point. Next pitch. Inside, walks him on 4 straight. As Ethan takes a trot to check on him, make sure he's tell him, look, just settle down. You got 2 outs. Let's get out of this thing. Last inning, Andrew's one of the ones that got things rolling for him. As we got 2 outs, runner on first. 4-1 ball game, top of the 7th. Just throws one in the dirt. Ethan blocks it up for a 1-0 count. Some of these young pitchers and stuff get to spots like this, and then they want to try to get fancy and try to start nibbling. They need to stick with what brought them there. As the ball goes to Josh Nobles, Josh runs over and takes it himself for out number 3. So battles back, gets out of it. Nice little job right there. I just had a song and I lost it. What happened to it? I am looking for, well, there we go. Nope, that's not it. You have to excuse me here. Trying to do 2 or 3 different things as we are getting ready to go into the bottom of the 7th inning as the War Eagles needing some runs right here, need to get some things started. We are going into the bottom of the 7th as we have got Nolan Bryant leading things off. So we're going to be 6, 7, and 8 in the Landmark lineup here. Nolan Bryant, Seth Young, and Reed Kemp. If we can get past Reed, then we'll have either Will Walters or a pinch hitter. Both pitchers have kind of cruised. Alexander changed pitchers last inning, went to Cody Worthy. Cody come in and got it Landmark out pretty quick. So they have pitched pretty well for the most part. So once again, Landmark needs to get something going on this inning here, as we're going to the bottom of the 7th. Last opportunity for us to do anything. Need to get a few base runners on so we can get ourselves an opportunity to score. Nolan Bryant's going to lead off the inning for the War Eagles. Nolan going to lead things off for us here in the bottom of the 7th. So obviously we got to get some base runners on in order to give us a chance to do something here. So Landmark will get things rolling as Cody Worthy still on the mound for the Cougars. First pitch coming to Nolan. Ball outside. Nice way to start it. Next pitch offered to Nolan. Right down Broadway. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Nolan. Peanut Gallery up here in the press boxes asking questions. Next pitch to Nolan. Inside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Two balls, 1 strike. Nolan hits one off the end of the bat, back foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Bottom of the 7th. We're coming to you from Landmark Christian School here at War Eagle Stadium. Nolan gets a piece of it for a foul tip. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Telling you. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs for Nolan Bryant here in the bottom of the 7th. Swung on and miss. Ball is high, goes off to the backstop. First base is vacant, so Nolan takes off up the base pass. Still thrown out as Seth Young is now coming up to bat. So Seth Young coming up. 1 out for the War Eagles. So, first pitch to Smith. Excuse me, Seth Young. My mistake. Is a strike. Curveball. No balls, 1 strike. 1 out. Next pitch to Young. Fastball inside. 1-1. Oh, Closure is now on the mound. Excuse me. God, Stephen Closure is now closing the game for the Cougars. I wasn't paying attention. Curveball that didn't quite curve enough. Two balls, 1 strike to Young. His Closure, right. Ball up in the zone, 3-1. 31 Closure has been in a closing position for the Cougars a good part of their season up to this point. Up in the zone just a little bit, and he walks him. So we get a base runner on in the bottom of the 7th. That's a good start. We need about 2 more as Reed Kemp comes to bat. Closure has a little bit of a different stretch stance standing on the rubber as Reed Kemp calls time, steps out. First pitch to Reed's a strike. No balls, 1 strike to Kemp. Seth Young's on first. Next pitch, ball's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Reed needs to be disciplined right here on his at-bat. Given the right pitch, Reed can get good wood on it. He can hit the ball hard, and he's got decent speed. Ball inside, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. Two balls, 2 strikes to Reed Kemp. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kemp's got to defend he got to guard the plate on this. Swung on and miss for the strikeout, as we now have 2 outs with Will Walters coming to bat. So Will Walters may be our last opportunity for the night. As Seth Young's on first, we got a base runner on. We got 2 outs. We're down by 3. I know Will can't hit a 4-run homer, but he could definitely get a base hit, put 2 runners on, give us an opportunity to take it one at a time here. As Walters stands in. First pitch to Walters as the catcher sets up outside. Gets away from him. Young a little delayed on his takeoff going to second. Wasn't quite sure what was going on. I think he was just hesitant, but then finally made it down to second. So now he's in scoring position. Base hit can score him now. Still needs some more, but we'll take him if we can get him. 1-0 count to Walters. Strike right down the middle. 1 ball, 1 strike. Next pitch to Walters. Fastball, fouled it off to the left side. I would dare say Closure will be throwing something that bends on this next pitch as an out pitch. Let's see what Walters can do with it. Of course, that's merely a speculation on my part. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Closure steps off. Wants to keep Young close to the bag. Walters fouls another one off, stays alive, 1-2. Nice job right there by Will, sitting on it. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Just off the plate, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Walters. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Next pitch by Closure to Will Walters. Here it is. Foul tip into the catcher's glove as that ends the ball game. And that's your ball game, ladies and gentlemen, as the Alexander Cougars beat your Landmark War Eagles for the final score 4-1. Once again, just a reminder, tomorrow's game will be a makeup game at Our Lady of Mercy away. Then we will be home Friday, and we will be home Saturday this week. We will not be streaming the game tomorrow, but Friday and Saturday's games will be. So be sure to try to tune in. We'll have some folks that will be at the games. If you follow us on Twitter, there'll be some folks at the ball game tomorrow to try to keep things up to date. So once again, for Chaffin Young, for Marshall Burdette, Derek Nobles, this is Mike McKinney. We certainly appreciate you guys spending your evening with us. We guys hope you guys have a great week the rest of the week, and we will talk to you Friday from Landmark. Once again, Landmark loses tonight 4-1. Once again, we appreciate you guys being with us. You guys have a great week, and God bless.